Hello, welcome to Spy Money. What a day. Did you see what $500 billion will do in a day? In 24 hours, right at 24 hours, we went from 24.49.21 all the way up to 26.68.29. Unbelievable. Hey, while you're thinking about it, hit that like button. We gotta like everything. Much appreciated. So that is going to be a total of $219 or 219 points that it hit, and blew my puts out of the water. You can't compete with monopoly money. That's what it amounts to. This right here is all taxpayer money, just as well as this was taxpayer money, just as well as, let me find it here. This was taxpayer money, and you have this was taxpayer money, and this was taxpayer money. So what happens when the government puts taxpayer money into the market? Right here is some, and then right here is where they sold it off. Every single time, right here was taxpayer money sold off. Come over here. See here, right there. There was another one. Taxpayer money, right there, and it sells off. Taxpayer money sold off again, but it kind of held up a little bit, and then they pumped a little more, and it still just kept coming back. So we come back to this channel every time. And it was coming up, it was getting ready to drop, and then they were supposed to put $500 billion in the market today. Well, they went ahead and changed it to doing it last night. So actually they started Friday evening, and they went ahead and started pumping the money in it then, and then at the market open yesterday, it goes ahead and spikes up. So it went up, I think it was like 50 points or so, something like that. Jumped up, and it has not looked back since. Right now, it looks like it is going to, it started pulling back, and I thought it was going to break the channel and come down, but look there. There's more taxpayer money going on. We cannot compete with monopoly money. We can't compete with $500 billion. And come Thursday, they're going to dump another $500 billion in this. So if your trades are out of whack right now because you were in puts, well, your trades were actually accurate, but you can't compete with monopoly. So there is no go to jail, get out of free card here, or do not go to jail. This right here is just unbelievable what they've done. Our grandkids will be paying for everything that's going on here. The money that our government is going through right now over this coronavirus thing is just asinine. I mean, it is unbelievable what they're spending, and we will not recover from this for many presidential terms ahead. This is going to go down in history as the president that has spent the most money ever of any president. Now, I was always a Trump fan, but because of what he's doing now, he's more worried about the stock market than he is just the country itself, I think. So that's just my opinion. So, and anybody that knows me knows I don't talk bad about him, but this right here is unbelievable what they're doing. They should have let the market just kind of go with the flow and drop down to where it should have dropped. But instead, by dumping all this money in, it's stabilizing it, but it's not going to hold it. As soon as the Fed step out, this is going to drop, and then we're going to be holding all of this money that the Fed spent. So that's what's going to be going on. This is just electronic money just sent. Well, here's another $500 billion. So that's my rant for the evening. It just makes me sick that we call the trades as good as we do in our group, and it's all mapped out. We know what's going to happen, and then the Fed step in and just start dumping the money like that, and it just upsets me. So there's my rant. So where's it going to go? Well, are the Feds going to step out and just let it go with what the market wants, or is the Feds going to stay in? Hopefully the $500 billion is gone now. They were supposed to pull out $50 billion during this time, so that's probably this right here where they pulled it out. Once they run it up, then they pulled out $50 billion, made some money on it, and then they went ahead and dumped more money in. So there's probably about 300 billion here, and there's probably 200 billion there. That's my guess. The last time they dumped that kind of money, it went up 315 points. So maybe we do that today. Maybe they just go ahead and run it on up, and then it sells off tomorrow, maybe, and then come Thursday, it's just going to run even more. So again, that's sorry for the rant, but it's upsetting. There's so many people that are bleeding right now because their trades were accurate, and the Fed's gotten away, and it hurt everybody. So ES, I'm not even going to trade it. I'm going to stay away from it. If you go and look at some of the other tickers, I mean, you look at this board over here, it's all green. Because of what they've done here, it's just popped everything up. Now, I did a trade on Walmart today, did some scalping. That's what I'm going to go to because you can't swing in this market. They're eating the options up. When you have this right here, I call it a heartbeat. When you have a heartbeat, there are no options. You've got to have a major catastrophe like a heart failure, some sort of a cardiac arrest. So all you medical people out there, that's what we need. Cardiac arrest will make this thing tank. And then once it gets down here, then we need some jumper cables to put on that guy, whatever you call those things that you put on the chest, and just like hit the electric charge and bump it up again. So, but we need the bigger swings and get this out of the consolidation pattern that it's in. So heartbeats are no good. Heartbeats are great in your body, but not in the stock market. So let's go over to GC. Look what it did. GC is finally doing what it's supposed to do. Go up when the market's supposed to be going down. But now we've got gold and the market going at the same rate. That's not the way these two work. They don't go in unison together. They are complete inverses. So when one's going up, the other one should be going down. So you can't even trade this. Right now, gold, I would have thought gold would have been dropping a lot more than what it is. But it's just going to do whatever it wants to do right now. Gold should have been over 2,000 for the last month. Right now it should be over 2,000, but it's not. So they are pumping the gold and they're pumping the market. They have to be in order for these two to run the way they're running. Gold, most of the futures, unless you're scalping, it's going to be hard to do. If you're doing any kind of options, it's going to be really hard. Speaking of options, my course to teach you how to trade options on futures, I have it done, and I'm reviewing it now, and I'm hoping to launch it tomorrow. So I will let you all know when that is available, and if you're wanting to trade future options when this mess gets over, then it would actually help you out. And if we go to crude oil actually shot up, and then Sunday it sold off. So they had some news come out and back and forth. So I think it's on Thursday. Crude oil is supposed to get some news, and it's probably going to spike it. So on Thursday, we're going to have a lower unemployment because everybody's laid off. We're going to have crude oil news come out, and we're also going to have a natural gas report come out. And let's see, what else was coming out Thursday? $500 billion is coming out Thursday. So there's no way in the world that you want to be any kind of puts on Thursday, because if you are, you're going to get crushed. You talk about IV crush? Well, IV crush is nothing compared to what this is going to be, because Thursday is going to be the day that we will probably take off and we won't look back. So if you're in puts, you better be getting out of them by Thursday, or you're going to be creamed. The dollar sold off earlier this morning, and today sold off, but now it's coming up. With it coming up, the market should be dropping. They don't go together. So if you look at Sunday night, whenever it opened, it's just kind of consolidated straight across. Ever since Friday, it's been consolidating. That's unusual. Usually a consolidation is a sign of some sort of a reversal, especially when you're going up, but this will probably consolidate over and probably drop down to here and then probably pop up. This is going to be on Wednesday, so that would actually play out about right, because on Wednesday, if it sells off and then on Wednesday it pops up, then the market will probably sell off on Thursday. These two will usually go against each other. So that's a good sign if your inputs that it looks like it may sell off over the next day to 2 days. Yep, John, 500 billion did the trick. I tell you what, they don't even have to give me 500 billion. They can just give me 1 million. 1 million would do the trick for me. That's just the way it is. $1 million, I could buy so many properties that I could owner finance and set me for life. And if that was just given to me, I could do some damage with $1 million. I could turn $1 million into multi-million dollars. So, come on, government, give me $1 million. Then we've got the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, the same thing. I think it was like 1,600 points it went up. 1627.46, up almost 8%. That's what $500 billion does. It jumps at that much. I mean, look at that. $500 billion. Think of what you could do with that. So this is like completely off the charts. This is not even anything that you could trade with. The only thing you could do is just trade with the trend. They said don't fight the trend, trade with the trend. Well, if you're fighting the trend, which anybody in puts was, you're getting it handed to you is what you're getting. Go down to natural gas. Look at that. Natural gas took off. I don't even understand why natural gas took off with that, because I didn't think they were even putting money into natural gas, but I guess they just put it everywhere. They just took $500 billion and threw it, and took a dart and threw at it and said, well, that's the stock or the future we're going to hit. So that's what happened. I'd love to see natural gas come up, though, because I've got calls on it. So I'd love it. I'd like to see that natural gas get up here and hit $3 while you're at it. Do it in a week. I'd love it. Natural gas, all these futures, I'm not telling you bullish or bearish or nothing, because I don't know what the government's going to do. That's really the whole point of this live stream is you tell me what the government's going to do. If they're going to stop putting the money in, then I can tell you what this stock's going to do. It's going to sell off hard. As soon as the government steps away, that first red candle right there is a 1 hour candle. If that first red candle right there, it should be as long as this right here. That's what's going to happen. See this big old long red one? It's going to be like that, but it's going to start there, and it's going to end here when the federal government steps out. That's what's going to happen. So, but until they do, it's going to keep on going. But the market, there's only so much money that can be printed. I guess with our government, they can print a bunch, but there's only so much that they can print before they run out of ink on the printer. So I think this is just like an electronic funds transfer. It's not even money. Then we've got the Qs. Same thing happened here. Started down here Friday and took off. That's what $500 billion will do for you. And then we go to VIX. Probably sold off hard. Look at that. They probably robbed all the money out of this and then put it over there. So VIX is coming down. I'm actually shocked it's where it is. And if we go to TLT, I haven't even looked at TLT. I almost bought calls at opening today. And I'm glad I never. I was Friday, I almost bought them and I held off. If I'd bought calls on Friday, this would have been awful, because I think, TLT looks like it's going to go on up into the 175, 180 range or so. That's what I was guessing, because that's where I thought the bonds would go. Now, the last time they dumped a bunch of money, they dumped it in bonds too. And if you go back here, let's see here. If you go right here, where it sold off, when they took it out of the money, they started dumping it in the treasury bonds too. So that's what did it there. And, I thought that once it got done pumping, it might drop off, so I just held off on it. I wish I'd got in calls down here. But right now, this looks like pretty normal trading, though. This doesn't look like the government's actually involved in it. This is just normal. And this is where you can make some money. You can buy, you can swing it overnight. Like you can come down here, swing it overnight, get to there. So there's a lot of people under PDT that want to swing trades. They just want to swing overnight and make some money. So in our Discord group today, we have changed everything. And in our Discord group, I've made it to where we have a day trade call out, we have a swing trade call out, and we have a long-term call out. So that way, if you're under PDT, you can just focus on the swings and long term. If you're wanting fast money and you've got the money in your account or a cash account, then you can do the day trade. And a day trade, like today I think it was 150 some percent on Walmart just on a scalp. So the percentage is there, and I didn't even get in where I should have. I got in late in the game. I was focused on other stuff, and I just completely missed it. So, if you take $1,000 and you get up 150%, now you made $1,500. So, the money's there. And let's go to Walmart. Walmart was ridiculous today. It just shot up hard. Walmart was, I'm actually looking for the 128 number. I sold out because I chickened out on Friday. I could have made $2,100 there, and then I ended up making $1,000 here. And I chickened out because I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the market with Walmart closings and so forth, what they were doing, and the retail part getting shut down a little bit. So I chickened out and I sold, and look at that. If I'd have held to my plan, then I would have made a whole lot more money. This $1,000 up here would probably been worth about $3,500. So, but I chickened out. Do I regret it? No. If I had to do it over again, I'd still do it, unless I knew this was going to hit. But I did what I should have done and sold it, took my profit because it was uncertainty here. Anytime you have this consolidation, that's sometimes a sign of reversal. So I went ahead and sold out and took my money and ran, and I smiled all weekend with it. So if I'd have held it, it'd have been a lot better. I do have some April calls which have not done a thing. I'm hoping that this will actually get past the 128 and get up in the 130s. If it gets up in here, then my April calls should, come out to where I can at least break even on them. It was a bad decision on buying those. I shouldn't have bought them, but anyway, that's just the way it is. You win some, lose some. Let's go through here. If y'all got any tickers that's listening, if y'all want to throw one out, I'll look at one. We got Disney. Disney actually really didn't do well considering how the market was doing. Disney, it looks like it's trying to sell off now. Someone mentioned JetBlue. JetBlue, I think, is just going to continue to sell off. I don't see it going anywhere. And then Kohl's, it went up, but it's already starting to sell off. And that's what I'm saying in the beginning with ES. ES is actually still going up, but most of the market's already starting to turn. I mean, this is already selling off here. If we go to CCL, selling off. Go to BA, selling off. So, when you're looking at all this stuff, then how is ES still trying to take off? Well, now it's starting to come down more since we've been talking. It's coming down more. So it looks like ES is probably going to sell off once we get below 2630. And then it's Katie, what is that? How's that go? Katie bar to the doors? Yeah, Katie bar to the doors, because you're going to need to hold on, because it is going to be like a big old sled ride. It's going to be a jet ski going downhill on ice. That's what it's going to be like when this thing breaks. And that's the way it always did in the past. If you go back again, look here. That's the Feds. Here's the drop. Same thing. We actually broke this channel, so I thought that we might hold it, but it looks like we're still going to sell off. So that's where we are with that. MRK. What's MRK? I've pulled that up before, I think. Merck & Company. I don't know what Merck & Company is. Let's see here. If we go... let me pull up Merck & Company. Let's see here. If we look... I'm pulling up something here. It looks, let's see here, go to 1 hour. Honestly, it kind of, I mean, to me, it looks more like it is a possible pullback. That thing is somewhat overextended. So to me, I mean, it's been going up for quite a while, and usually a stock won't go that long. You can usually get 5-6 days out of one, and it'll have a reversal to where it'll come back and at least retest. And this one, to me, looks like that it may go ahead and sell off a little bit tonight. It'd probably be like a little pump like this right here. So long term, let's see here. If we do I mean, right now, I'm afraid to do anything long term, to be honest. I mean, honestly, let's see if we go to a 4 hour. Honestly, I mean, long term, it looks like it's pretty good. I don't know anything about the company. I don't know what it does. But long term, that actually looks pretty good. But I'd be a little hesitant hopping in, right here. It's probably going to pull back, and I would wait to get on a pullback, and as soon as it starts turning, then I would hop in then. I wouldn't hop in like in the morning. It may shoot up tomorrow, but to me, it looks like it's going to probably go ahead and pull back based on this. You got a big old spike, pullback, spike, pullback. You got this spike, and it's probably going to be a couple of days of pullback. That'd be my thinking on it, Brian. So we got that one. What did Apple do today? I didn't even look at it. Apple, well, shoot, that don't do any good for puts, does it? But look here at this. We actually topped out and double topped. So double topped, now we're selling off. So I believe that we're going to sell off the next couple of days. I think either Wednesday night late or Thursday morning, more than likely probably Thursday morning, the Feds will jump back in with the $500 billion and go ahead and make it go to the moon again. So I think it's just going to follow that channel. Now, on Thursday, whenever it does it, will we pull back after that? I'm not sure. Okay, MRK does the vaccines. Okay, thank you. I didn't know what they did. So Apple, I believe, will end up pulling back tomorrow just because it's double topped and it shot up, not because of Apple, it shot up because the $500 billion check. And then we've got ABT. ABT, Trump was talking about them again a while ago on the press conference. And, they're going up pretty good now. So I got in right on through here. So probably tomorrow this should going up. And I don't think that the market's necessarily going to affect this as much because they have such good news with that 5-minute test kit that they have for the CR or CV. So I think this is probably going to continue to go up. Then we got Amazon. We hadn't looked, or not Amazon, but AMD. We haven't looked at that in a while. And I would say AMD's just following, it's just following the ES, what it did. So I'd be careful getting in AMD right now. I'd say it's probably going to pull back with the others as well. BA, look at Boeing. Same thing. Everything's pretty much the same charts, and everything's already pulling back. So that tells me that the Feds are done pumping the money, so it's just going to pull back on it. And if you look at this one here, let's see here. If we did a trend line from, say, right here, let's see here, come down. I'd like for it to be right there. That is more like it because you're picking up this one, you're picking up here, here, and there. We actually crossed over it, so I guess it depends on if it holds over, say, 140, what it's going to do. But the trend line shows, and the 15 shows it's going up, but that's all fake money. You can't trade on fake money. The only thing you can do is just know when the fake money's hitting and hop in with them. Fake money comes out Thursday. It's either going to be Wednesday night or Thursday morning. But there is $500 billion coming again. And so you got to be careful with that. Let's see here. I don't know what this is. That's something happened there. Kohl's ended up taking off, but it's going to pull back. Kohl's is probably just going to keep on going until it eventually bankrupts. And Netflix took off. I have to check my calls on that because I don't know if I don't even think I'm in the money on that as far as in green. I think I'm still down on it. I'll have to check when I get off here. Let's see. Look at what we got there. USD, CAD. I made, I think it was 35 or 40 pips off that this morning. Made it, excuse me. Let's see here. That's 4-hour chart. If we go back to a 15, it was in the morning when I made it. I think it was actually last night. I got in, I think, here, and I got in through here somewhere, and I ended up riding it down a little bit. because I went to bed late last night. It was about 2:30 time I got to bed, and then I was back up at 7. So somewhere I put the order in before 2:30, and I actually got up and closed it out around 8 this morning, and did pretty good on it. So, and that should be about it. I'm going to call this one a night. I just wanted you to know what $500 billion will do. Anytime Corona cough, I hear you. I actually got this in West Virginia back last November, I think it was. And I think that's why West Virginia doesn't have the cases that everybody else does with coronavirus, because they got it way back then. And wouldn't shock me if I had it back then, because I was deathly sick and I was coughing for months. And it just came back about a week and a half ago or so, and I was up in West Virginia, so it kind of makes me wonder if whatever's up there, I got it again. I don't know. So the cough has been here for about 2 weeks now, and I guess that will be about it. If you're not part of our Discord channel, we talk about all this stuff in the Discord channel, and we've got the new call out section. We're going to start doing more day trading. We usually don't do day trading, but with this market, I'm just going to start scalping options and scalping futures. So one or the other. I'll probably end up doing more option scalp because I can get in and just kind of let it ride. Today was 150% I think it was on Walmart. So if I can make 50, 75, 100% on a trade, that's pretty good money. You take 1,000 or 2,000, or maybe you take 5,000 and dump it on a trade, and then you just go ahead and ride it up, and then it don't take but a few minutes and you've made your money. You could take $5,000 and dump on a good aggressive momentum trade and scalp it in a matter of 5 minutes, and you can make a couple $1,000s. So that's what we're talking about in our group now. We usually didn't talk about scalping because a lot of people didn't like doing it. Most people were swing traders because of PDT, but we're going to do the swing trade, the long-term trade, and also the scalping. And I'm going to do more scalping than I've done in a long time. And also the futures, we'll be doing that as well. Again, that futures option course will be available probably tomorrow, and I'll post a link in the description for tomorrow's. If I get it ready, then I'll post a link in it for you guys. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you YouTubers tomorrow morning about 8 o'clock or so. And your Discord group, I will see you guys in the chat here shortly. Appreciate you guys.